Back to the charts with Big Boss Crypto, bringing on a day trading analysis on Bitcoin and on AVAX. Bitcoin showing some weakness and we are continuing slowly to the downside to our targets down to possibly 22.5k. Let's look at the chart. So as you know, I always speak about where we are in the market maker structure, which usually starts off with a double bottom formation, first leg up, first retrace, second leg up, second retrace, and third and final leg up, which ends in a double top formation, and we reverse it in 3 steps. So this is what I see in the coming future for Bitcoin. We have completed our first leg down. We have our first retrace. Possibly we could have another spike to the upside to grab the last liquidity in this volume candle zone up to 28.7k. After that, we're going down, and the next target to the downside is these 2 volume candles to the downside at least 22.5k. Could go all the way down to 20.6k if we get some bearish news from the current news events. After that, we'll have another retrace to the upside, possibly up to this volume candle right here at 25k. After that, we'll have our third and final leg to the downside, where we bottom out in a double bottom formation, possibly around these volume candles down below at 18k, possibly. These are just projections, doesn't mean we're gonna go there. But after that, we'll have a markup phase to the upside in the same market maker manner, and we'll go ahead and grab these liquidity zones at 40k eventually. Looking at the news events for this week, today we had the PPI numbers coming out. We also have FOMC minutes of meeting. We'll see what happens when that gets released. Possibly we are not going to see a shocking market making move. That will possibly come tomorrow when we have the CPI numbers coming out. And we'll see if inflation has slowed down. They're projecting 3.6%. Last month we had 3.2%. So we'll see what happens. No, sorry, 3.7%. So we'll see what happens when that gets released. If we get a shocking number above 3.6, well, the market's gonna go to the downside possibly, and vice versa. Also, we have the unemployment claims being released at the same time. So tomorrow is an interesting day. So if you aren't in any trades, wait for the news release tomorrow before you place any. Not financial advice, you do whatever you want to do. This is just for education and entertainment purposes only. Looking at the liquidation map then, we can still see a lot of money is still stacked to the downside all the way down to 18k. Then it is to the upside. We have a cluster here above 28k. We also have a volume candle at 28.7k. So the market maker might spike price to the upside when CPI numbers gets released to 28.7k, and from there we're gonna spike down to the downside again, because everybody will go long after news events, and when they see big green candles, that's when retail goes long, and that's when market maker releases his liquidity and moves price to the downside again. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Big and interesting day for Bitcoin and for crypto in general. Now let's take a look at looking at the bigger picture of AVAX. This is from the last bull run when we peaked out in a double top formation. As you can see, we had a first leg down, first retrace, second leg down, second retrace, and we are currently in a third and final wave down to the downside, which will finish off in a double bottom formation. And the closest target to the downside is the volume candles down below at $5 and at $3.7. Huge opportunity. If price goes there, I will load up for sure. I'm not chilling anything, not financial advice, you do whatever you want to do. And yeah, AVAX is a great project. As you can see, we created a lot of volume candles to the upside, all the way up to the highest one is at $67. And as you know, volume candles always get recovered on every time frame, especially when there's a lot of volume in those candles. So yeah, great opportunity, almost a 10x if prices go to these lows where the volume candles reside. So if we zoom in a bit, we can see still we're in a sort of a trend. As you can see here, we have spikes up, retraces down, spikes up, retraces down, spikes up, and that's what we'll continue to do before we have a clear double bottom formation, and that is where we shift out and have the markup phase, a huge bull run per se. So we'll see what happens for AVAX, but that is at least what I'm expecting. Still more downside to go before we have another spike to the upside and a markup phase. Make of this what you want, not financial advice. This was Big Boss Brother number 2. Have a good one. Big Boss out.